Well, hello, and I hope you're having an awesome, wonderful, wonderful day. And I just want to take a few minutes and share something with you that I think will be of much important and will help you along in your journey. You know, as you can see from the title, I made a promise, a pretty bold promise, how to become immediately successful without even breaking a sweat. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, a couple years ago, I went to Chicago for a training. And in this training, I happened to be able to get in the first row. So I sat right next to the main speaker as he was giving a training to a small group of people. Wasn't that many people in the room. And at one point, he asked, what's the definition of success? And I immediately raised my hand. And let me tell you why. Let me give you a little backstory. Years and years ago, I got a hold of a gentleman work by a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale. And if you've never had a chance to listen to Earl Nightingale, I encourage you to get a hold of any of his stuff. I've even found some of his stuff on Apple Music, and it's for a great reason. He has a one audio program called The Strangest Secret, which was the first spoken word album to ever go platinum. So that's just showing you how important and how meaningful that information was. But anyway, the one thing he drilled upon me, and I want to share that with you today because I believe it's going to bless you. I believe it's going to help you understand that you're on to something. You are on to something. So let me give you his definition of success. Earl Nightingale said, success, hey Jerry, success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal or dream. Let me say that again. It's the progressive, hey Ro, it's the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal or dream. So when do you become a success? Well, let me tell you something, and this is the great news I have to share with you today. You can become a success immediately. You can become a success immediately. How? By tapping in to, number one, having a worthwhile goal or dream. Let's start there. Set a worthwhile goal or dream for yourself. I don't care if you're retired. I don't care if you have a job, but you need to have something you're aiming for, okay? So you have that worthwhile goal or dream. And let me tell you something. Here's the instant part. The moment you take that first step towards achieving that goal, you, by definition, are a success. There's a book that came out some time ago written by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill had written a book called Think and Grow Rich. But he also wrote this other book, and I forget the exact title, but it was like, if you ever were familiar with C.S. Lewis, and he has a book called the Screwtape Letters, where he basically has a conversation with Satan, and they talk back and forth. Hey, Dan Shaw, and that's C.S. Lewis's book. Well, Napoleon Hill did a similar type of book, and in that book, the reason I even bring that up is because the devil was in there, and he was saying that the number one way he gets over people is by causing them to drift. Drift. What are you drifting? You know, you're drifting if you don't have a meaningful goal or dream that you're working towards. You're just drifting through life. Zig Ziglar used to say, be a meaningful specific and not a wandering generality. So again, the moment you set a goal, hey Roger, hey Eddie, the moment you set a goal and you take that first step towards that goal, my friend, you are a success. So I encourage you to think about that. Think about a worthwhile goal or dream. And it could be a weight goal. It could be a fitness goal. It could be a financial goal. It could be a business goal. It can even be a goal in your job. But once you take that first step, by definition, you are a success. And then you just keep taking steps. As I was talking about yesterday, you know, Robert Schull used to say, inch by inch, anything's a cinch. So I encourage you to take that to heart. Be successful, because you don't have to have achieved your goal to be a success. You simply need to be working towards your goal. Well, if you like this, let me tell you, as you can probably see behind me, I invest in books. And every book you see back there, there's no Harlequin romances behind me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't read that stuff. Every book you see behind you is a self-development book that I've invested in. Because as I told you yesterday, Warren Buffett says the number one investment you can make is an investment in yourself. Well, I want to tell you the top 5 books that you should be reading. And when I say reading, you know, I read a lot of books. You have to. I mean, as many books as you see behind me, I got bookcases over here. And I've now gone to buying books and reading them on Kindle. So you don't even really, that doesn't even represent a piece of my library. But the key is, when you read a book, I mean read a book, you're getting into it. And sometimes people go for quantity in books, but they don't go to really get the depth. Well, I'm telling you, there's 5 books that you should be reading right now. And I will send you that list of 5 books. If you inbox me, send me a private message, I'll respond back with the 5 books that you should be reading right now. Not just to gloss over, but to go into detail and get the distinctions. You know, sometimes they say that you should repeat something 7 times to really get it. And I've heard people say over and over again about these books that when they read it multiple times, it's as if someone put new pages in there because new distinctions were brought to the forefront. So again, inbox me. I will send you that list of 5 books. There's just 5. You can get them pretty cheaply, or you might be able to get them from the library. But you can get those 5 books, and I encourage you just to dig in on them because I believe they will bless your life. Again, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.